Hi, I'm moving to Sweden. Yes, you read that title correctly. I'm moving from Australia all the way to the other side of the world in Sweden. The plan is to spend the last half of my gap year, remember that video? Living in Sweden, just kind of living there along with traveling to different places throughout Europe. It's almost going to act as like a little travel hub type deal for me, but yeah, anyway, without getting into that too much, let's get to the trip. And it was one hell of a trip, I tell you what, getting up at the ripe hour of 4 in the morning to get to the airport. When I got to the airport, I got to see the last sunrise I would see in Australia for quite a while. And the first flight would be a 10-hour flight going from Sydney, Australia to Tokyo. And the reason is because I'm flying Japan Airlines, and the reason is because it was a lot cheaper than any other plane ticket by like $1,000. I didn't know why at the time, but then very quickly realized why that is, and that is because after that flight is a 15-hour and 45-minute layover period in Japan. Now, that would be fine. I'd be able to leave the airport, go explore Japan, have a wondrous time. I've been there a couple times and it would be great. But the issue is that it was overnight, and because of COVID at the moment, you're not allowed to leave the airport if you don't have a visa or some sort of specific paperwork. So I was stuck here for the whole 15 hours and 45 minutes. Now, when I say this was boring, I am telling you this is incredibly boring. At this point, I started to get pretty tired because, you know, I'd been on a plane for 10 hours. So I tried to get a little bit of sleep myself and actually managed to get around about 4 hours of sleep, thankfully. I spent a bit of time playing Minecraft on my laptop because, of course, I did. And I also got a weird little capsule thing, which I'll let me at the time explain this.
These things are massive in Japan. I've got 300 yen. The Pokemon one had none left. Insect Wars sounds sick. It's a spider. Pretty cool. But I was hoping for like that one. That one would have been cool. But spider's cool.
Yeah, so that was cool. I got a little spider thing. Sure, why not? But overall, this was by far the worst part of the journey. It sucked so bad. I do not recommend that at all. And the hotel was temporarily closed as well. I'm guessing because of COVID as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, long story short, it sucked. But you know what? Would I pay $1,000 to not do it? Yeah, probably not. But I also got to see Star Wars playing. Yeah, only in Japan. But yeah, then after that, we were finally back on the next plane. And this wasn't very forgiving either because this flight was from Japan to London in the UK in it. 15-hour flight, yeah, going straight from a 15-hour 45-minute layover to a 15-hour flight. I basically just like watched a bunch of movies and stuff. It wasn't really that eventful, to be honest. Flights never really are, but there was one thing that was cool about this flight, and we flew over very northern Canada, so I kind of looked out the window every now and then, probably annoyed everyone on the plane because everyone's window was shut, and I was just peering out every now and then because we were going over a bunch of ice, and it was really cool. I thought it was awesome. I had just never really seen anything like it before. I thought it looked really cool, and it just stretched on for miles and miles. I loved it so much. So that was kind of the silver lining of that flight. The flights themselves, I didn't find too bad. I kind of didn't mind them. It was just the layover, which was absolutely dreadful. But yeah, anyway, once I got to London, it was only 3 hours in the airport, which I just spent kind of walking around the shops that were actually open this time. But yeah, after that, I was on another plane, the final stretch from London to Stockholm, 2.5-hour flight. And that wasn't the most eventful flight in the world. I just kind of slept for a good majority of it, to be honest, because I was incredibly sleep deprived by this point. It had been like 40 hours and I had gotten about 4 hours total sleep and I was just, I was so tired. But I had booked a hotel in advance at Stockholm so I could, have a good night's sleep before catching the train and the bus back to where I'm actually going to be staying permanently. And that was probably the best shower and the best night's sleep I've ever had in my entire life ever. It was nice. But anyway, I had to get up in the morning. I set an alarm and I definitely needed that alarm. Had a buffet breakfast at the hotel in the morning, which was amazing. Although, funny story, I tried to start off with just a simple bowl of cereal. There was cereal there and what looked like milk cartons there. I couldn't actually read the label, so I was assuming it's milk. It's right next to cereal, right? And so I poured the cereal and then I poured some milk and it turns out that milk wasn't actually milk and it was just cream. And I couldn't actually find any milk anywhere, so I had to go over to the coffee area and steal some. But yeah, anyway, I don't have any footage of that, so sorry. But yeah, then I hopped on the train and there was some really nice scenery. I really enjoyed the scenery, like on the train on the way. I kind of want to catch some more trains just so I can see a bit more scenery. But then finally, at last, I made it to the apartment. I'd left on a Tuesday and arrived on a Thursday and I was tired. And yeah, here we are. That's right. I'm finally here. I'm in Sweden. I'm in the apartment. Here it is. Let me give you the grand tour. So here we have where everything's going to be happening. I'm just exporting a video right now. You'll see that next week at some point. Here we have cupboard full of clothes and whatnot. We have the kitchen over here. Bathroom with the funniest toilet placement I think I've ever seen. Why is the toilet there facing that way? I don't know, man, but it is. And up this ladder here we have the bed. Yeah, boom, that's where I sleep. So that's the house tour, the apartment tour, if you will, and yeah. So yeah, here I am. I've made it. Finally, it was a long journey, and I've been here for 5 or 6 days at this point, so I've been here for a little bit of time, given me a bit of time to settle down, and it's going to take me a little bit longer than that as well to just get completely used to everything, But yeah, I absolutely love the area. I think it's really awesome here, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of travelling here as well. And I kind of want to film some videos on those, so I'm probably going to be releasing those over on Try Death Bear, which is my second channel. So if you're interested in seeing some more travel type vlogs, I guess you could call them, be sure to check them out there. But yeah, so I don't expect this video to do super well. It's just kind of like a fun little time capsule video for myself in a way of like, this is where I'm at right now, this is what's going on, and yeah, maybe I'm gonna look back at this at the end of the 6 months and be like, man, things were so much different back then. But I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you later.